Erik, you came so close to completing what would have been an incredible comeback. Are you scratching your head as to how you've lost that game?
Yeah. We started poor the game, giving the ball away, defending poorly on the first two occasions, but on that moment already you saw we were dominating the game. And we returned in the game. It was brilliant how we played. And we deserved to win this game, but you can't give it away like we did. We have, as a team, we have in that last minutes of the game, we have to manage this game better.
They equalised and scored the winner within 82 seconds. Who's to blame for that?
Yeah, of course, there's always, but it's a team performance. And of course, you can point to one of the players, but it's not about that. It's about team performance. As I said, as a team in such moments when it gets chaotic, you have to deal with such circumstances as a team, and we didn't. We make wrong decisions. We didn't help each other in possession as well, keeping the ball, go from one side to the other side, or at least pass and move, and out of possession, we make bad decisions.
Lack of concentration?
No, it's not a lack of concentration. Also, I think unlucky by the end, by the penalty situation, questionable, very soft. But we have to do in such situations. We have to do better.
Aside from those last couple of minutes of the game, overall in the match, you faced another 28 shots. Those kind of numbers, they can't be sustainable going into the rest of this season and going forward, can they?
It's ridiculous. We showed we were fourth ranking before this game, goals concede. So everyone is talking each other after. So I can't do anything with it. We are good. We have a good defending as a team. We have a great goalkeeper as well. We have a good back four as well. So I can't do nothing with such stats.
In terms of the injuries, it's something that you've spoken about at length. But once again tonight, two centre-halves having to come off, both Varane and Evans. Does that rule them out of the game on Sunday?
I can't say in this moment.
And how were they looking when they came off? Did they look like serious injuries?
As I say, I can't say that. And so quick after the game.
Well, looking ahead to that game now, you have not many games left. So what type of a setback was this result tonight in terms of what you still want to achieve?
It's definitely a setback, but how we have to deal with this and to get up, and we will do. We are resilient, and you have seen today how resilient we are, how we returned into the game, how we, the quality of our football, how we can play outstanding football in moments. So really highs, but football's about result, and you have to bring it over the time.
We appreciate your time. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, Manchester United gave away that penalty with just a couple of minutes on the clock. Erik Ten Hag felt it was very soft. Rio, let's have a look at it again. It was Dalot on Madueke. How did you see it?
I thought Madueke, when he came on, he changed it. The pace, he glides past Dalot there. There's only minimal contact. I think Bruno could have maybe helped him and created a 2v1. There is contact, very minimal, but when you run at that pace, any type of contact, someone goes down. You give the referee or VAR a chance to make a decision. And if I was a Chelsea player and I didn't get that, I'd be fuming. So.
And VAR, David Coote tonight, it was given because of the pace of the play, foot-on-foot contact, felt it was enough with the pace to go down there, Joe.
It was more than enough, and it didn't need to be taken so long. It was one of them decisions which you go with instinct. Me and Rio were right. We was all standing right there, and we both looked at each other and went, penalty. You know, as a player, he kidded him, he's got the wrong side of him, and Dalot's panicking because it's the last minute, not showing enough composure, trips, a slight touch at that pace. You know, when you slow it down and you start talking about it's only a slight touch, you run at the pace that these guys run and then get your ankles clipped. You just go over.
One thing I would say about this game, you look at it, neither side had any control. Like we said, it was like a basketball match, up and down, you attack, we attack. And that's what the worrying thing for both of these teams. Yes, Chelsea are going to they're indulging this and they'll enjoy it for this night. But when the dust settles, Chelsea, but also Man United, they've got to look at each other and look at themselves and go, you know what, we have to find an element of control. Man United, there's no team in the top 5 leagues in Europe that have conceded more shots on goal than Manchester United in 2024. It's a huge number. That has to be sorted out. If you want any type of success, you've got to actually gain some sort of control in a game, settle the games down, manage games and manage moments. Neither of these teams at the moment seem capable of doing that.
But this season they seem to have done better in those games where they are more chaotic and there is less control. In a more controlled game, they haven't really been able to perform in those either.
Those traits don't win big titles. Simple as that.
I think Rio was, when you look at both goals, the last 2 goals, I've been in that position with Bruno Fernandes, who I think is a fantastic player on the ball. But to talk about crucial moments in the games, when he's come over to Dalot and Dalot's facing up to Madueke, there needs to be some kind of communication. You need to understand how important this part of the game is. Dalot, if Bruno's slightly close to him, Dalot can take the line. Maduake's got nowhere to go. He'll try and go down the line. At best, he might get a corner. But because Dalot was still worried about him cutting inside, it gave him an opportunity to run him. And then again for the corner, Cole Palmer, the best player on the pitch. You're free, your head's in the spin dry, you don't know what's going on. Somebody in a Manchester United's team has to go, and it has to be the senior players in crucial moments, because sometimes the passion and the energy of a game, if you're a young player, you don't know what's going on. Get hold of him, someone go and stand on him, and it's not there.
It does happen, that. And it happens to any player, the best players, but then you need someone. You need someone in your team that has the clear head, that does point and shout and drag people about. Get out to him, and you know what you do in those situations? You do look for, at a corner, a set piece at that moment, last stage of the game. Who's their best header of the ball?
But
get him.
Two of those
or who's the best player?
Who would normally do that, Varane and Johnny Evans, went off.
Yeah, well, Harry Maguire's in there. You've got Bruno. They're leaders. They're big characters, big experienced players. But you need to find someone to do it. You can't be getting in that space at that stage of the game after scoring 2 and at most parts of the game being the most dominant Chelsea player on the pitch. You've got to identify that. And
the reason it happens, I don't know how many subs had Manchester United made at that point. Injuries. So you go out, and you got your what you've got. I'm marking him, but that's all out the window. This is just, we have to deal with this situation now. We have to be men. You get him. I've ended up in situations like marking someone 6'5", but you just have to do the job.
Well, Man United have to pick themselves up again because they face Liverpool at the weekend, and after the break we're going to find out what happened in their game at Anfield when they took on Sheffield United.
Until he sees that, I don't think he'll be satisfied. He'll enjoy this moment, I'm sure. Here he comes now.
Here he is, behind us. Maurizio,
hello,
congratulations.
How are you?
Okay.
With you?
We'll just
Good.
get you to stand in there in between Joe. Go on, you can get under Joe's chair. You don't care after that win tonight, though, Maurizio. You must have went through every single emotion possible in that game. Just try and sum it up for us.
No, yes, it's difficult brief because the last 5 minutes, was a game, an unbelievable game. That is the Premier League, that is the football, amazing. No, I think deserve, not deserve. I think we started the game really well. I think it was a game that we were under control. We had under control, but after, I think the way that we conceded the 2 goals, I think put Manchester United in the belief of the possibility to win the game, and of course was tough. But I think we needed some game like this, some victory like this. I think we need to connect with our fans, and today was amazing because that connection that we were missing, I think today is possible that start not to build this connection.
Is that why we saw that response from you at the end with the fans? Because that's what you've wanted to see and achieve with the fan base here.
Yes, I think we need to connect. We need to connect because if not, it's tough for the player. Because when you made some mistake like we made in the first goal that we conceded, that was the yes.
We don't
become crazy, crazy. But I think we need the support and the belief, and yes, it's true that through the to the result and this type of.
So you in the press conference called out your players, demanding more from them. What was the reason for that? You want a reaction, obviously, but you have a big risk there that sometimes you can lose players. Maybe that would question why you calling us up publicly, but you got the right result here today. after that?
I think it's, look, I think before to talk with you or before to talk with the media, always in the meeting that we have in the training ground, always I try to explain the truth and explain what they're going to tell to talking with our fans. No? And I think it's really important to agree things. And there we have a very young squad, some players that have experience, but only few. But the rest is so young. But they need to understand also that they cannot. We are in Chelsea. We cannot compete in the way that we compete, against Burnley. It's so disrespectful for us first, and then for the opponent. And we are in a club that the demand is so high, and they need to understand that, that we need to always try to do more. And in the way that I think we lose 2 points against Burnley, disappointing us. But it's not only me that was upset, because then these guys, they need to realize that what it means to compete in Premier League and for big things.
Yeah.
Because to play football is okay, but then it's about to compete.
How important, because it's a ridiculously young team, so young, but how important is this moment where you come from behind and, like you said, the outpouring of joy and emotion and love that they shared with the crowd? Do you think this could be the catalyst from now to the end of the season?
Should be, and should be amazing if that happened, because now we have another game Sunday, and should be really important to approach the game like today. But in the same time, you need to be consistent, and that is the most difficult thing. We are, I think, the younger team in the big 5, I think, leagues in Europe. Yeah. And of course, that is always difficult to keep the consistency. But yes, I think should be an amazing, boost for us to keep, this idea and to perform in this way.
Maurizio, Cole Palmer. I mean, a hat-trick today. What makes him? We can see the talent, but you see him on a day-to-day basis. What makes him so special in the way he's playing? 24 goal involvements now this season. For a young kid like that is a phenomenal amount of... did you actually believe he could get to these numbers and do what he's doing? Tell me a bit of detail behind the scenes.
Details. I think the first conversation that we had when it was in August, I think was the connection, no? And then when we met for first time in the training ground in my office, that was the connection that you need for the, that the player trusts in you, and you to give the possibility, to play. I think he deserves massive credit, because to arrive from Manchester City and to Chelsea, and very, late on the in the transfer window, and I think show his character. For me, his character is the most important thing, because we can talk about talent, we can talk about everything, but when he arrived was like, a guy that say what I need to do, because I want to play every single game, and I want to perform, I want to help the team to win games. And for me, his mentality is his quality, capacity, to manage to deal with the pressure. But I think his mentality is amazing. His top is for me still can improve, but I think it's amazing in the way that he adapts here and is performing. Maybe another player will be jealous about my words, but I think they deserve. He deserved to be prized, because I think today was a repeat and an amazing performance.
Yeah, first senior hat-trick for him. A special win for you as well. I'm sure you'll enjoy tonight, Maurizio. Thank you very much for coming
welcome.
out
Thank
to
you.
join us.
A pleasure to
We appreciate it. Thank you.
Congratulations.
You're welcome.
A very happy Maurizio Pochettino there. His side now just 1 point off a potential European place after that dramatic late winner. We're going to take a quick break.
51 years of age, remember. But in the 97th minute, Manchester United, let's not forget, were winning 3-2 in that game. We were talking about them going 6 points within the top 4 with a game in hand. Then this happened. Madueke and Dalot. Are we all happy this is a penalty, Glenn?
I think so, yeah. When I see it in free play, I always try and judge it in free motion when it's actually happening. And as soon as he goes past Dalot, I'm thinking, don't touch him, don't even attempt to play. Back your goalkeeper, back your defender. And I think it's just there that he just gets a little touch there. And then his arm actually pushes him in his hamstring there to actually eventually bring him down.
I think what's telling from it as well is there's not much complaint from Dalot as well. Yeah. So, as much as we can slow the game down, it maybe looks a little bit harsh. He doesn't complain, and the man steps up. He doesn't miss penalties.
As he said
so
himself.
So he says. Yeah.
What did you make of the awarding of that, Owen?
Yeah, it's penalty. He gets caught wrong side. Thing is, Madueke is left-footed, you know, and he's got Bruno Fernandes kind of inside him. You should just force him into where there's help. Where there's Bruno Fernandes. You can't get beat on the outside, somebody that's quicker than you. You know, he's got to force him inside to where Bruno Fernandes, and then he doubles him up. You know, you're leading. It's this little thing, but it becomes a massive thing. You cannot allow him to get on the outside. Once he gets on the outside, he gets in front, you give away a penalty. Look, I love that. I think he's been terrific for United this season. But those little things have been added up all season, and he realises straight away. He knows he gets caught wrong side, he makes a mistake. Bring him inside to where Bruno is, and you got help, and then you probably go and win the game.
As soon as he goes past Darlow's, it's your pride, isn't it?
Yeah.
We've all done it when we were players. Your pride hurts you. He's beat me. He's done me for pace. I'll make up for it. No, just let him go. The best thing is let him go. Back your goalie, back your defenders. Still got a lot to do, by the way. If he shoots from that angle or pulls it back and they score, fine. But it's your pride. Your pride gets hurt. He's gone by me. It's my fault. And he tries to get too close and brings him down.
And then 4-3 from the corner.
Oh.
I mean, you were astonished, weren't you, at this?
This is just modern-day football, all zone, all going back to do their jobs. And from a coach's point of view, I mean, you can't let the best player for Chelsea, that space, look, it doesn't do much. There's no one on the edge of the box. When you make loads of subs, and there's nowadays a lot of subs, look at the space they've got. Look at all the United players have gone into the danger zone. When you put subs on, they've got to take responsibility on set plays. And there's so many subs United have made second half. I'm not so sure they were equipped or knew their responsibilities before they went on. And that's the difficult thing. As a coach, I used to hate putting it. Now there's 5 subs you can put on. It's a bit of a nightmare for coaches, it really is. But you've got to play off the cuff sometimes. Yeah. You've been told to go to zone, zonal, front shield, your job. But somebody, the best player's standing on the edge of the box on his own. Someone's got to say, go and close him down. Unbelievable. Good strike from Park.
I was going to say, is that not a trait of the modern game, whereas players can't really think for themselves at a particular time? They're waiting for someone, maybe on the side, the manager, the coaches, to make the decision for them. I mean, that moment was screaming for someone to take charge. Now, you've got the captain of Manchester United who's on the front post, and he probably can't get out, but he can make more of an effort to get out there and obviously close the space down for, obviously, Cole Palmer to shoot. But I think it is key. I said it before, it's in keeping with Manchester United. They have lacked leaders this season, and that is a classic example of Manchester United.
Yeah, I mean, look, Cole Palmer, watch him check his shoulder. He cannot believe the space that he has. He's like, well, I'll come over here and get this. And credit Mason Mount, he actually recognised, but it's just a little bit too late. You know, he's nowhere near this.
Not his man initially, do you know?
Well, look, but Glenn makes a great point. Subs don't really know the roles.
Okay.
And Cole Palmer realised, right, I'm going to sit in this little pocket of space if nobody's here, and you'll have a pop. And obviously, that is, yeah, I mean, normally set pieces is a bit of organisation. You know, you got your guy. Obviously, when you make subs, it goes a little bit to pop. But Cole Palmer, he realised, right, I'm not getting marked. I'm going to go get it. I've only scored 2 goals. I might as well go score 30 if you're not going to mark me. And that's exactly what he did.
I mean, there's loads to pick from there, Gaffer, as well. I think when you obviously we took you know, the quick free, the quick corner, you know, the play's not coming out. But if you look at it again, you see Rashford going back, so he's probably not even in his position. So maybe it was Rashford who should have been on the edge of the box to sort of to cover that area.
Look, Rashford's jogging back and he goes in for the 6-yard box.
He's not even looking.
Yeah. And it's an old saying, Steve, but as a coaches and that, and as players, you'd have heard it. Ball goes dead, you come alive. As defensively, all goes dead. It's a dead set play. You come alive. There's no one organising. That has to be done as Fernandes is running across with the ball under his arm. That is when United have got to start organising. It's too late when the ball's been played. It's as they're running across. It's Fernandes then tells somebody to go edge of the box. Who's going edge of the box?
But Glenn, it's a great point because as proactive as Enzo is first, because he's the one who kind of plays the ball to Cole Palmer, and Cole Palmer's the same. But you need the same thing defensively. You need players to be thinking, right, if they take it short, we got to be there. Enzo and Cole Palmer are thinking sharp. The United boys are just trying to retreat to get into the box to win the header. And Trent Alexander-Arnold did me against Barcelona, that short corner. Sometimes the great players, they just make quick decisions in the right moment.
I think they've got set play coaches now. But we always think of set play coaches as an attacking, don't we?
Yeah.
But you've got to do the defensive side as well. I'm sure the set play coach doesn't want them to defend like that. So it's the players, like Rob said. The players have got to take that responsibility. You've come back into the game. You can't let it go. Even like the disappointment of letting them back at 3-3, you cannot lose the game from that position. By hook or by crook, you defend that goal. Organised people. Space has never scored a goal. You've got to pick up people.
I'm not sure we can see it again, but, you know, the big angle there where obviously you see Rashford running back, and obviously I'm not having a go at Rashford by any means, but when you take the quick corner, look at this Rashford, look, it's recognising danger. So he knows all them players there straight away, but he just sort of wants to go in to get his position. If he goes to, obviously, Cole Palmer, stops with him, then obviously Chelsea need to get set up, and then he can maybe go back into his position. But he doesn't look, and he just wants to get back into an area where he thinks, this is my job.
And for Manchester United, in the 97th minute, to be 3-2 up in that game, away from home, having done the, as Glenn says, done the hard bit by showing the character to come from 2 down. I mean, how damaging is that? What will that dressing room be like?
The worst. That's the worst feeling ever. You know, to be fair, even Anthony had some big moments in the game. You know, you thought, wow, it's great for him. He's had a really difficult United career so far. You thought, wow, a lot of positives there. You get in a position, maybe potentially win the game, maybe even, you know, get a Champions League place possibly, and then to throw it away with a clumsy penalty, and then to just switch off. I think Ten Hag will be fuming just in the way that they shouldn't even have drew the game. Yeah. You know, never mind lose it. And I think that kind of, and again, these things keep happening. You know, there's a pattern there. And, you know, everybody needs to reflect at the end of the season, how have we got to this position where we've been so inconsistent also. Even Glenn mentioned the transitions in the game. They were crazy. The amount of open space in the game was far too much.
This is only 5 days, of course, after we were at Brentford. I was there on Saturday night when they scored, thought they'd won the game, and straight away conceded there as well, and the same things happened.
Brentford had 31 shots that game.
They did.
They hit the woodwork 4 times. That tells a story behind. The point is a point, but you've got to analyse that. Listen, Chelsea weren't great, you know. We could be sitting here 3-2, Man United, we're picking on Chelsea.
Totally different conversation.
You know, they're papering over the cracks with that result as well. Chelsea, they were poor second half. To be 2-0 up, don't forget, and then lose it to 3-2, and then they get off the hook in many ways. Good play from Palmer, cool head for the penalty, and then he's the live one. He's looking for the ball. Perhaps the Chelsea players are all in their shell a little bit. He's the one that's got on the edge of the box, got his space, bang, and he's the match winner. But, you know, Chelsea is paper over in the cracks.
Talk about a Joe Cole party. I think there's a Cole Palmer party in West London tonight. What on earth just happened?
I don't know. 2-0 up, and then, like I said last week, silly mistakes, but, you know, when the 8 minutes got added on, give us a lift. And, yeah, madness.
Was that the reaction that you needed to show out there after what happened at the weekend as well?
Yeah, definitely, you know, we need to try and win as many games as possible, and to win like that, there's nothing better.
Right, talk us through those final couple of minutes of the match, Cole, because the equaliser came and then you get that winner within 82 seconds between those 2 goals.
Well, yeah, we thought when we scored the second goal, you know, the fans lifted us, we lifted ourselves. Seen the gaffer said he was 2 minutes left, so we thought we'd go for it, and thankfully we scored.
How'd you hold your nerve, though, these final minutes of the game? So much pressure on you to step up to the spot, even just to rescue a point in that game, let alone to go on and then score the winner.
Yeah, you know, took many penalties. People say to score penalties, but I'm not going to miss the penalties, am I? Touch wood, but to score in the last minute is crazy.
Crazy, and you have got that match ball in your hands. It's your first senior hat-trick. How does that feel?
Yeah, buzzing.
And a Manchester lad playing against Manchester United. You're a United fan, I believe, as well. Is that right?
Yeah, when I was growing up, I was a United fan, so yeah.
Did you get an extra incentive playing against this team? You scored against them in the other leg as well. You're the first player since Frank Lampard for Chelsea, the first English player to score home and away against Manchester United too.
I don't know, I just think trying each team, you know, do the same thing, but I've scored that away and I've scored, you know, a few here tonight, so yeah, wasn't.
There are people saying, Cole, that you are the signing of the season. Is that a nice feeling for you to be getting that type of praise?
Yeah, I just try to take each game as it comes and show the Chelsea fans and show everyone what I came here to do was play football.
Well, you're doing pretty well, Cole. Congratulations. Enjoy it as you walk off.
Thank you.
Rio Ferdinand and Joe Cole watching alongside me with the rain. We've summed up the emotions from a Chelsea point of view, Rio, but how on earth did Manchester United let that slip so late?
Devastation. I think they switched off. We're going to go through the goals in a bit, but I think concentration plays a huge part at the end of these games. There's a lot riding on these games, a huge pressure, I know that, but in the midst of madness and chaos, you have to have people that are in there that are really on top of their game, concentrating, pointing, yelling, cajoling, pushing people about. The corner comes for the winner. Cole Palmer comes out on the edge of the corner of the box, drifts out there. No one even notices it. No one even. Here we go. We've got it here. He comes out. He's the danger man. This is the guy you got to shut down more than anybody else on that pitch. He's able to drift out there, come out there unopposed, and gets to open up and has a shot. Yes, it's a deflection, but he shouldn't even be able to get there and turn. If you're concentrating, if you're professional in that manner, and you're understanding the magnitude of the moment in this game, you can't afford to have them moments. You get punished at this level.
He's the linchpin of this team, Joe, isn't it? Which is quite remarkable for a 21-year-old in really what's his first full senior season.
Do you know what was even more remarkable, Linz? Way was talking to Jules. He just scored a last-minute goal. It was like he just got off the sofa and he's got his cocoa in his hand and he's just ready for bed. He's the coolest man in the building. These fans love him. You know, he's lifted this team on so many occasions when because there's no experienced players around, you're looking for someone who's got something magical that hasn't, that he doesn't learn. It's like Jude Bellingham. When we watch him play, we're like, that's not a 20-year-old. You feel the same with Cole Palmer. From Manchester United's perspective, Rio's right. In a crucial point of the game, how can you let the best player on the pitch have time to take a touch in the box and strike it? Like, he must have been thinking, what's going on here? How have I got this time? But he has just been remarkable this season. I would say signing of the season, and he'll be looking. And you know what? He's just taken this team by the scruff of the neck and gone, no, you're my team, and I'm going to be the one that drags us through.
Build a team around him.
Absolutely. Absolutely build a team around him. He's got the personality for it. He won't be found. How many people in this stadium, Manchester United and Chelsea fans, would have thought he might miss this? Nobody. He was just cool as you like. It's brilliant.
But Man United fans, Man United players, the change will be on their knees right now. I think the big task now is for Erik ten Hag to get this team back on their feet. Because it's a game of emotions. There's huge emotions that go into these games, and the game's to and fro.
And it's Liverpool next, really.
Liverpool next. He's got to find a way of getting them up, getting them back, and getting that fight. They showed fight today. That's one thing you've got to give them. They showed fight, they showed character. But then it's a lack of that concentration at the final end. The last two games, they've conceded 3 goals post 90 minutes. That tells you that concentration is a problem. It's an issue. Have to get that sorted out. But you look at it, I thought 90 minutes came and I thought, I don't see Chelsea scoring.
The defensive injuries, though, a mitigating factor, because obviously Varane went off, Evans came on, Evans then had to go off, and it's just such a huge list of defensive injuries they have.
Yeah, but you can't have excuses at this level like that. The injuries happen. There's players that are training, they're getting given so much information nowadays. Listen, they're coming on, they're full of iPads loaded up with all the information, tactics, where you got to stand, where you got to be at set pieces. The set piece goal at the end was the killer. That's the nail in the coffin, obviously. And I'm sure there'll be an inquest in the change room. But listen, I can tell you now, you'll be in that change room. Every head will be on that floor. They're going to have to.
Hunger of his players. Yeah. Did they answer him in bucket loads tonight?
Absolutely. The character. There's always a moment with a team where you go, that's it. Like that. That's what Chelsea are, and I'm really hoping that that's this. Like, the fans responded to him. This place on Saturday was a morgue. It was really, really down. There was no energy. Tonight, the fans stayed with them right the way through because they played well, but they fought. Everyone was on it.
The problem you got, Joe, is that both of these teams have shown glimpses this season at times where, oh my, this is them now. This is them. I can see them catching fire and catching form, confidence, momentum. And they have a moment like this. Man United had it last week, a couple of weeks ago in the FA Cup against Liverpool. Similar circumstances, last-minute goal. But then go to have a game against Brentford.
And that was exactly the same team. So how could it be so very different with exactly the same team?
And as happy as Pochettino will be, and we saw him right next to us here going crazy, and like he should, he'll still, I reckon, it calms down. He'll be scratching his head. Where's this been? Where has this been? He needs to find consistency with this team. Can we get an umbrella, please?
Yeah.
Please, umbrella. For you.
The rain is getting heavier. We're all right. It's been such an amazing match. Who cares about a bit of rain out? Lovely. Look at that.
I'll hold it for you. Go on, I'll hold it for you.
John to the rescue there. Absolutely brilliant. We're hoping to hear from Mauricio Pochettino as well when he comes out, Joe. But that release of emotion that we saw from him at the end with the fans, have you seen that from him here with Chelsea?
That is No, but I love that. I haven't seen it because there's nothing that he's been able to grab onto. And he's an emotional guy. You speak to players who've played with him and they tell you, you know, it's energy. There's certain managers that are pragmatic, like, and they're data driven. And, you know, I'm thinking along the lines of like the previous manager, Graham Potter. Maurizio has played his whole career on his instincts and his emotion. You know, and he was loved by the crowd at Tottenham, and he's not felt like that. But tonight, you felt an outpouring of love and emotion and just joy from everyone at that moment. And that is the thing what you play football for. And I'm so happy for him because he's such a nice bloke, and he deserves an opportunity because he hasn't had full control of this club yet. And let's hope, you know, and I've always been a big advocate, right from the start. If a manager as a head coach needs to be in control of incomings, outgoings, policies, you know, and I think and if he can give him that, I think we've got half a chance.
Can you see clear progress from when Graham Potter departed the club, Rio?
If you'd said that to me before the game, I'd have said no, because the inconsistencies are there for the team. And I think I said it just now that he must be really frustrated with his team because he sees moments and glimpses, but you need to see them more consistently. You need to see them every single time you go out to train. You need to see the right habits. You need to see the same thing in the game. So until he sees that, I don't think he'll be satisfied. He'll enjoy this moment, I'm sure. Here he comes now.
Here he is, yeah, behind us. Maurizio, congratulations.
Có kìa, tí tiền của đấy không ghi bàn nữa đi.